Great Herbal Day. This is Dr. Herb Sistah, and I have been getting so many questions about fibroid birthing. And one of the first things I wanted to say is that it doesn't hurt, but you got to get on it before you start worrying about the end, right? You know, some of us are already worrying about the end and we haven't even began yet, but it doesn't hurt. But it is a combination of things with the fibroid birthing. And some of it is that we have to recognize that our lifestyle and our genetics, sometimes it's a thing that goes on in your family, but our lifestyle is what's contributing to us having fibroids. So sometimes when women say, how long does it take? They're not taking into consideration that, they hate where they live, their mama getting on their nerves, their kids getting on their nerves, they want not to be married or in a relationship, and they keep doing it for whatever reason. So, there's a lot of things that go with it that causes underlying stress. And sometimes we don't recognize that the stress, even though you might be used to it, is still stress. And your body does not like that stress. I don't know how to handle this light. Should I sit back? Yeah, that's better. Okay. Your body doesn't like the stress, even if you say, well, I know how they are, they almost grown, or they getting ready to move out, or, we have so many reasons for us to be able to endure pain and stress. And I would say that Black women have a very high tolerance for pain and discomfort, very high tolerance. So, we'll do it for years. Okay, it doesn't matter how old you are. Fibroid birthing can happen to anyone who has fibroids, even if your cycle has stopped. So, and then it says, and do you have cramps? Some women have cramps every month during their cycle. It's not going to be any more than a regular cramp or even a bowel cramp, so it's not going to, send you to the hospital. And that's really what people want to know. Is this going to send me to the hospital? No, it's not. But let me say this. You do need a program. Another sister asked a question. I got a whole list of questions from my social media director. Another sister asked a question and said, how long does it take? It depends on your life. It depends on what you eat. It depends on your stress. It depends on your emotional, stability and, your love of what you doing every day. If you enjoying your life or in loving your life, and you need a program. Someone told me, I just want to try it. There's no trying it when you're dealing with something like this that has been in your body since you was 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. And you can't try one bottle for 1 month or 2 weeks and say, nothing happened. Nothing in the world happens in a month or in 2 weeks, So we don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know. We don't need to know how old you are unless we're doing a consult. And some of these questions, I thought it was all one person. This many questions with one person, you need to do a herbal education consultation. Why? Because I need to know your womb story, because your womb story has a lot to do with what's going on in your world, But a program is going to give you, like, the first step is going to give you, the VB program, BV program. We're going to have enzymes, which helps to break down the fibrous tissue. We're going to have probiotics, which is going to keep you from being bloated, and so will the digestive enzymes. We're going to have the tonic. We're going to have the herbal douche, which once you start cleaning this stuff out, it's very yeasty. And so it will burn the top of your thighs, etc. So you want to be ready for that by having something to rinse out. We also have the womb positories, which you put up once a month after you get going on program. You don't just get that and say, oh, I got to do this today because this is going to be the key to eliminating the fibroids. There's not one key. There is a combination of a whole bunch of things that you're going to be doing that's going to make the difference in how your body feels, how you feel, and whether or not you pass the fibroids. I can just give you some round numbers, but sometimes it takes 6 months, sometimes it takes 3 months, sometimes it takes a year. We don't know which one you are. So you have to be committed to trying something, because this is a non-surgical option. The other options are surgery. And those options are not good for women of color because they usually end in a hysterectomy, which means you lose a lot more than you gain. You might gain a flatter stomach or, less bleeding, but you also may not have or feel orgasmic or sexual or any of these things when they do a complete hysterectomy, or even a partial. A partial means they take out, may take out your ovaries, etc. Well, you know what the thing is that you don't want nothing taken out, really, because all of it works together. And when they start taking things out, then you come to me. It's hard to get things to work because something is missing, and what we need to operate and work with is gone, So, and someone said, what was their initial diagnosis? If you have fibroids, you almost don't need to be diagnosed. If you're bleeding excessively, bleeding over 4 days, you can't leave the house, the amount of blood, or you got to wear a maternity pad or 2 supers and a super tampon. I mean, you have something going on that is not normal. And someone says, what exactly shrinks them? You know what? The thing about herbs, they don't explain their ways to us. We know how they work in a broad sense, and they can work differently in different people's bodies depending on what that body needs. And everybody's body needs something different. So, even if I could give you the scientific operation behind how these things work, how is that going to help you unless you get started and start working on this? I think people sometimes get obsessed with details that they have nothing to do with, and it's not going to help it work any better. But if it works for somebody, it can work for you, but you have to commit to it. You can't say, I'm just going to try it out. Let me get 1 bottle. In the meantime, you still driving an ambulance, or you still a cop, or you still, dealing with a whole bunch of kids in childcare who are out of control. Whatever it is that's causing you stress. And see, that's what else is in the program. The first step program, we have the B stress, which takes your stress down to a whole different level. We have the womb positories, which we use to kind of move out some of that old tissue that drips. We have the castor herbal fusions, which is a blend of herbs in a castor oil that helps to break down fibrous tissue, and you put it on as a pack after or before you go into the bathtub. And we have a ritual and a routine for you to do so that you can really get your body to come down to another level and relax. Because sometimes people don't never relax, and they just expect, everything to work in them like it worked in somebody else who was, taking baths and doing massages and, doing a whole bunch of other things to get their body at another level. Doesn't matter how old you are. I said that earlier, but this was open, so you might have not saw me. And what about bladder tumors? Now, you know what we always do here when you have any kind of growths is for you to do a parasite cleanse, because a lot of times people haven't ever done a parasite cleanse, and parasite cleansing gets rid of, old growths and actually worm sacs and worm eggs. And a lot of times women have those in their womb, and they may have gotten them from when they were in utero in their mother, so you always, and in the first step program, there is a parasite fiber dewormer. And that's one of the reasons why it's in there, is so that you have other things going on. It can help to clean those things out too. But that program, the first step program, lasts almost 30 days. But you want to know that adults, 90 days is the minimum amount of time that you need something to really make a difference in your body. 90 days. In a child, 30 days. But in a case like this where you have fibroids, you've had them a long time, and they're affecting your sexual interactions. Some women can't have sex because they feel the fibroid, and he does too, or she does too, however that is, you know. So you have to decide, is this something that I'm willing to do because I don't want to have surgery? This is what works besides surgery. And if you say, I tried it and it didn't work, did you do the program, or did you just do one bottle and you did it once a week when you thought about it and you left it out on the cabinet, which has, you know, this tonic has no preservatives. Preservatives is part of what's going on in your body from them hot wings and all of that drive-through food and, you know, all of that frozen food and, you know, crappy food. Crappy food is adding additives and preservatives, and so it's perfume and a little, you know, pine trees in your car and plug-ins and all of that stuff is creating more excess hormones, excess estrogen that's creating more fibroids. So, you know, you got to look at what you're doing. Are you using inexpensive candles that's not soy? Are you using, you know, all of these other things I just mentioned? You know, are you just drinking any old kind of water from the water fountain? You know, are you drinking alkaline water? You know, exactly how you living, sis, how you living. This is what we dealing with. You can't keep living the old way and expecting something new to happen, you know? And you do have to change the way you eat. I know people say, do I have to change the way I eat? Yeah, no more hot wings because they're full of drugs and full of all kinds of stuff. They put in the chickens to get them the growth hormones to get them to grow fast and big so that they can be ready for the market in 6 weeks, you know? So yeah, this is a life change and a lifestyle. One of the things that y'all might want to look at doing, we do a lot of programs and things to help y'all understand how to live. So look on our website and come to some of the programs and things that we have so you won't feel by yourself, because it does work when we're in a circle of women doing the right things. We can help reinforce each other. So look at, you know, how you can invest in your womb, in your creative chakra, in your creativity, and in your life, and get a program. Don't get one bottle and say, oh, I didn't notice anything. The only thing I can think of that you're going to notice something in that short of time is going to the dentist, you know? So if y'all have more questions, you know, you put them up there. And someone asked about prolapse. Prolapse is a muscle. Muscles have gotten very soft and movable and just real gushy, and they doing whatever they want to do. So prolapse is a whole nother thing. It's exercise. You probably need to use you know, we'd have to work on that. I mean, I had to see where it is, how old you are. Now, that is something that has to do with how old you are. If you're 30 and you have prolapse, that's a deal. But anything with prolapse means that you have to do exercises to pull and strengthen those muscles. Did you have, you know, 5 kids in 4 years? If so, then that's a whole different thing, you know. So, what about, let me see. Okay, well, y'all have more questions. Let me know when you come up with those questions, but understand that we're here, that we've had hundreds and hundreds of women to do the fibroid birthing, which we have created with our products and our womb tonic, that type of thing. So don't go ask somebody else about fibroid birthing. We're the ones who do that. So come to us, go to herbsistah.com, come to our programs, and let us know how else we can assist you. Because you know what I say, the only people that's gonna help Black women is Black women. You know, we're the ones who gonna care about us, love us, and do what's necessary and tell each other the truth. So I will see you soon. This is Dr. Herb Sistah, and I was doing your orders. and I saw this whole big old list of questions. I said, oh man, let me go and do a little video so that I can answer this one time. And then if we have some more questions, we come back. Okay. So appreciate you. Have a great herbal day and create your week in the way you want. And I'll be talking to you soon. Ovario. You know,
okay, you too. Bye-bye.